Welcome to the Calexico City Council's Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority. Open session, meeting 6:30 p.m. Call to order. Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno.
Here.
Council Member Gloria Romo.
Here.
Council Member Victor Legaspi.
Here.
Council Member Lisa Chalenda.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. Now we can just get up to recite the pledge. And, Mr. Eugenio, would you like to say the pledge for us? Or with us here? Come over here. We'll pick a member from the audience. You can just go ahead and the pledge. Just lead us into the pledge. Thank you. Thank you. You may sit down. Mr. Attorney, closed session announcements?
Thank you, Mayor. We have no reportable closed session announcements. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we move to approval of the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia.
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno.
Yes.
Council Member Gloria Romo. Council Member Gloria Romo. She said yes. Council Member Victor Legaspi.
Yes.
Council Member Lisa Chalenda.
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you. Now we move to presentations. And it's a proclamation designating October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I'll go ahead and start, with Mayor Pro Tem Moreno reading the first part of the proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas the crime of family violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity due to systemic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control, and or abuse, including abuse to children and the elderly, and whereas the problem of family violence are not confident to any groups of people, but across all economic, racial, societal barriers, and are supported by societal differences, and
Whereas the impact of family violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole, here in Imperial County, throughout the United States and the world. Now, therefore, in recognition of the important work done by family violence advocates and programs, we do hereby proclaim the month of October to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Imperial County and the City of Calexico. The City of Calexico urge all citizens to actively participate in the scheduled activities and programs to work towards improving victim safety and holding perpetrators of family abuse accountable for their actions against individual victims in our Valley community. In witness thereof, I hereinto affix my signature and official seal of the City of Calexico on this 22nd day of October 2024. If I can have members of Women Help, come up. Sorry about that. So I was going to say different agencies, but thank you for being here. And I know the next activity will be on Thursday. Wear National Purple Day. So I know, which is in 2 days. Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. So if you want to come up and take a picture and receive that certificate. Okay, we can have
Yes, everybody designated.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having us, council members, and Javier Moreno and Mayor Camilo. We are very grateful to be here to proclaim October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As many of you know, Woman Haven has been providing services for 46 years. We first started as a shelter in Holtville, and our founders are Alice Armstrong and Virginia Samaha. From there, we expanded to our housing program. We also have a wellness program for individual counseling and therapy. We also have our shelters, and we have our legal program. And during October, we have a variety of events to gain awareness for domestic violence. We have Thursday is Wear Purple National Day, and also we have our 7th annual Mariposa Gala that is coming this Friday, and we honor survivors of domestic violence and also advocates that have been providing their tireless service to end domestic violence in Imperial County. And with me, I have Judy Klein-Pritchard, which is our Director of Legal Services, and Jazz Ledbetter, who is awardee of our 7th annual Mariposa Gala, which would like to say a few words. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for having us. Judy Klein. I've been with Woman Haven for 35 years now. I started off there thinking I would stay 6 months. Obviously, I stayed a little bit longer. I'm still with the legal department. I'm the director of the legal department. We are a walk-in center, although we do take appointments. Anybody can walk in 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. We listen, we give people their options, and we educate them. We help them through the court system, whether it's legal, whether it's criminal or civil restraining orders. And we are a very, very busy place. One of the things that I have noticed over the years is how children are affected by domestic violence. 35 years into it, and I can tell you, unfortunately, I have the grown children of clients that came to see me 20, 30 years ago. They themselves have become either victims or perpetrators. We need to start educating our children. I would be remiss if I didn't mention not only the survivors, but those of them that we've lost over the years. Every year during Domestic Violence Prevention or Awareness Month, we have something that we refer to as Remember My Name, where we have our honor those that we've lost. Right now we have 10, is it 10, Christian? We have 10 pictures with little biographies. We have permission from their families, and we set them up wherever we go to remind people that it can happen to anyone. Now this is 10, only 10 out of probably the last 35 that have been murdered here in Imperial County. And I think you here in Calexico are very well aware that the last one, or actually the last two that occurred here in Calexico. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but every day should be Domestic Violence Awareness Day. Now, I'm going to introduce my friend Jazz. She's going to tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Jazz Ledbetter. I'm so honored to be here and to watch Woman Haven get the recognition they deserve. 6 years ago, I moved to the Valley with a couple of suitcases, 2 kids, one of them was 6 days old. And without getting emotional, one of my favorite memories is Judy's office. You know, she said she's been doing this for 35 years. I'm 34, so my whole life. She had it so welcoming for my children who had been traumatized by not just domestic violence, but human trafficking as well. And for them to be able to now stand here, the woman I am wouldn't be without Woman Haven. I actually had the courage to write a book about my story, and chapter 26 is literally written in reference of downtown El Centro and my trip to Woman Haven and the start of my new life. Now I am a founder of my own nonprofit that spreads awareness for human trafficking, how to spot the signs, and to empower survivors. This year being honored as the Mariposa, it's full circle. I feel like I've transformed my entire life like the butterfly. Please continue to support Woman Haven as well as new organizations that are continuously making a difference and changing lives. So thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you. Now we move on to the public comments and public appearances. Not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the city council on the special agenda items only. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. Group commenters may be requested to limit their group comments to 15 minutes. The city council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the city council. Do we have any public comments?
No public comments related to the special agenda items.
Thank you. Now we move, excuse me. If it is not on the agenda, Mr. Kim.
I was subject to special meeting. It's not subject, it's subject. It's self-meeting. You guys wrongly called it special meeting.
Excuse me, so if
So by the law, I have a right to treat this after every section. I'm talking on the meeting, how it was called meeting.
excuse me, Mr. Attorney.
Correct. For special meetings, the comments are only related to special meeting items. For the next regular meeting, that comment can be introduced.
Yeah, but the thing is, correctly, I am criticizing how you guys call the special meeting.
You could make those comments at the next regular meeting. That would be the time for general public comments. It's for special,
Public comment meeting, general comment for the special meeting.
correct, not for special
Yeah.
meetings.
You give too much of gray area for the council member.
It's clear in the Brown Act.
Yes,
Thank you.
Rather than Brown Act, you guys have to have meetings.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Thank you, Mr. Kim. Consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the City Council, Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency, successor agency, or Calexico Financing Authority, and will be enacted, by one motion in the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the City Council. So do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved, Mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Romo,
Yes.
Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we move to discussion and potential action items. Adopt budget amendment resolution for fiscal year 2024-25, authorizing the addition of a full-time in-house city attorney and fund allocation within the same department. Staff report.
For the public, this was an item that was requested by Ms. Thailenda a few meetings back, is to adopt and amend the resolution for 24-25 authorizing a full-time in-house attorney and to amend the allocations within the department to have this position created. On September 4th, the city council provided staff with the direction to create a job description for an in-house city attorney, which Ms. Garcia provided one for us on October 2nd. The job description was approved, and the city gave direction to add the position to the 24-25 budget.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Before that, is there any public comments on this? On this item only? The one that we're talking about? Buenas noches.
Ok, no sé exactamente los números que estén manejando. Lo que yo escuché es que estaban pagando muchísimo de abogado, que es excesivo el pago que están haciendo. Me imagino que lo que están ustedes haciendo es para ahorrar dinero a la ciudad. No puedo hablar, o sea, también les quería dar mi opinión porque yo sé que no entra y no me van a dejar hablar, pero no es justo, porque ahora se vence un contrato de la señora de la City Clerk y también yo creo, yo sé, señor García, yo sé, discúlpeme, pero no me parece justo. Me tomé el tiempo para venir porque tengo cosas muy importantes como dejar a mi familia.
Sí, pero por favor, esto es del abogado.
No,
perdón.
yo sé, pero se refiere, si ustedes quieren ahorrar dinero para tener al contratar al abogado porque están pagando mucho, me parece muy bien, pero también deberían de analizar. Estuve buscando al City Manager, no lo puedo localizar, no me regresa llamadas, discúlpeme, tengo 2 semanas buscando a la señorita, la City Clerk, y tampoco nunca hay nadie. No, discúlpeme usted a mí, discúlpeme con todo respeto, señor García, yo lo respeto, me parece muy mal. Si ustedes realmente tienen la intención de ahorrar dinero, analícenlo, porque el día de hoy se vence y la señorita, vean las agendas, no están las minutas no están ahí. ¿Qué clase de trabajo están haciendo?
Manténgase, por favor, en el tópico del
No, nada más le estoy diciendo con todo respeto. O sea, yo les estoy diciendo esto porque yo pago muchos impuestos, como mucha gente aquí, para que por favor lo analicen. Porque me parece esto, se va con maña. La señorita tiene 2 semanas sin aparecer. Pregúntele a la señora Carla, desde el viernes la estoy buscando.
Si no, le voy a pedir que por favor ya
No, sí, señor
termine
García, pero si
su
ustedes
comentario.
realmente quieren hacer las cosas bien, señor Legaspi, analicen esto, por favor. Analícenlo porque es mucho dinero lo que se le paga a esa persona para que no esté haciendo su trabajo. Y tienen años haciendo lo mismo. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. ¿Algún otro comentario?
Who was second on the motion?
No, no hay otro comentario del público para este.
No,
Okay.
no public comments.
I'll bring it back to the council for any comments on this. I know there was a first already, so but before we go for the second, is there any comment from the council?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Moreno.
Okay, so, I see Ms. Linda's point, she brought it up a long time ago, and I commend her for that because it's about making money, saving money, obviously. And so my question is for Mr. Contreras, the city manager, how is this going to, it's not going to impact, are we going to save money by doing this?
Potentially, in the long run, we would cut down the cost of having a firm with, obviously what we're paying out currently, $500,000 to $600,000 a year, $500,000 to $600,000 a year, right? We would eventually cut down in the long run, but moving forward, my recommendation is to keep BB&K for the time being until we can fully transition into the in-house position, fully get it going, and then transition over to in-house attorneys.
Okay, and your recommendation is?
Yeah, well, even moving forward with the position now, if we create a job announcement, open it up for the public.
Okay.
For potential, we would still have BB&K for the time being, and then do that transition
Right.
with the in-house with BB&K, and then transition over to an in-house.
Okay. So once we vote on this, what happens after this? We bring it back?
We will get direction from council to open it up.
Okay.
And give direction to staff to
Okay.
open up the in-house attorney listing.
Okay, thank you. So it's important the citizens understand why this is going
Yeah.
on, right? The reason for that. Obviously, at the tune of, whatever, you said over 500,000, 600,000,
Yeah.
that, so moving forward with this, if we bring it back and we do go to transition, not only are we going to be saving money, but I would like to see probably an in-house attorney maybe we can that we can, not in-house, but it's something that more affordable, but less
Yeah.
of a cost, right?
Yes, and I think
And
that
so-
was the idea of Ms. Thailand.
And this would move us forward towards that.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have, Mr.
All
Mayor.
right, thank you. So with that, I second that motion. Roll call?
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Romo,
No?
Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Chalenta.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we move on to item number 7. Authorize city manager to sign agreement of professional services between the city of Calexico and United Environmental, Inc. in the amount of $93,000 for demolition and asbestos abatement services at 311 Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Staff report. Yeah, lady. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council member and those present. Direction was given to begin the process of demolishing what is a building and a half on the 300 block of Cesar Chavez. We originally had 2 buildings several years ago, which were left behind when Cesar Chavez Boulevard project was constructed. One of them fortunately was burnt, so now we just have one and the pile of the remaining. So we did an RFP. We received 5 bids. We reviewed them, and staff is recommending that we give the proposal to United Environmental to begin the demolition and asbestos abatement for the remaining building.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments on this?
No public comments.
Okay. Any comments from the council?
I do, Mr. Mayor. So initially, I think this is from Mr. Contreras. Thank you, Ms. Palomir. Initially, the amount was, it's not 93,000, it's less, but it was
Correct, it was around 60-ish.
It's right, and then it went up
We were
to-
13,000 short due to the asbestos in the building and the findings
Right.
of what would it cost to safely remove the structure.
so based on that, you're asking for this amount to
Yes, sir.
reflect that 60 whatever, and then also the other
Yes,
amount?
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments?
I do. I don't know if Juan or the manager, Public Works manager, will be able to tag team. Can I get a timeline? I was looking through here and didn't see it. Here we go. Because the contract awarding was supposed to take place in September. Is there an updated timeline for the?
No, what happened was that when the proposals were submitted, we had only budgeted $80,000. So the remaining $13,000, our interim finance director was able to find funding. So that's why we are here before you. If this is approved tonight, I will be setting up a meeting with United Environmental, and then I can provide you a timeline.
Okay. And the meeting would be to award the contract or talk about if it's still?
No, it's to award and then do the scheduling.
Okay.
I believe their proposal, their original proposal, they said that they would do it within 30 days.
Okay. How long has the building been like that?
Since Cesar Chavez expansion, and that was in the 2021, I believe?
2021?
Yes. 2020, 2021.
2020. Okay. I think longer. no?
2019?
I think, yeah, it would even,
20,
yeah,
yeah.
20, yeah. Do you remember when it burnt down?
was
I
at
want to
that
say it was
fire.
like
I just don't remember when that
2018.
fire was. It was quite some time. The barricades
Yeah.
were already up because
Yeah.
I remember running the fire hose
Uh-huh.
over the barricade.
Yeah. So yeah,
It was in
like
2019, 2020.
2019. Okay, wow, that's like 5 years like that. Okay, that's great, thank you.
Just to piggyback a little bit on that, the service area plan that we have hasn't been updated in terms of this, like she's referring to the asbestos because it requires a special license for that, right? Any chance of that getting an update to avoid that? Hasn't been updated for a while, so now we can,
That wouldn't be part of this, a service area
that's what I'm
plan
saying.
is-
What I'm asking is there a timeline to update that service area plan?
That would be planning and building director.
I know, but I'm asking him.
Yeah, it wouldn't
What
be
was the
under.
question?
No, no.
You're kind of
That's what I'm saying. Is there any timeline to update that service area plan?
to update the service
Right, right,
for
yeah,
the
right,
demolishing
yeah.
of the building. When Ms. Falomir meets with
The service area
construction
plan
company.
has nothing to do with demoing a building, just so we know. To clarify that, not confused.
No, hold on. And I know that's another, I'm just asking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get the timelines
Right.
from the construction company, then we can have a better timeline on how
Okay,
to get
that's
rid
all.
of the building. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any more comments? There's a public comment? Go ahead, sir.
Julio Rocha, 795A B Tillman Avenue, Calexico. That property belongs to the city? It does? Oh, okay. Yeah, because we didn't hear about it, so that's why, there was a concern on it, that it belonged to the city. The one that is being demoed, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
You said that the first quote was 60,000.
You can come up and thank you. Excuse me,
The
can you come
correction
up
was
for the
80,000.
record?
Okay, the correction of the initial quote was 80,000. We're missing 13,000, puts us at 93. My numbers were off. It was 80,000. That was the initial quote for the demo. We're 13,000 short. We were able to find those monies. We're going to get rid of the building.
Thank you. So do I have a first and a second or what motion?
I motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Romo,
Yes.
Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Chilenda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we'll move to item number 8, renovations to Calexico Fire Station number 2. Authorize the city manager to sign change order number 15 and 16 with A&N Quality Builders in the amount of $24,956 for the renovations to Calexico Fire Station number 2 and adopt budget amendment resolution for fund number 255, American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, in the amount of $35,126 for Calexico Fire Station number 2. Staff report.
So this staff report comes back with Mr. Holt submitting change order number 15 and number 16 that coincide with updating the conduit to the fire station for the irrigation system. Before, we had wires coming out of the east side of the wall, west side of the wall, and A&N Construction came in and was able to run conduit electrical to the actual irrigation system and update that system to make it compliance. Another issue that we have been having with the fire station number 2 is the generator being mechanical, being 30 years old, is going from a mechanical generator to an electrical generator to be compliant, right? Now it's meeting the proper megahertz. I think we hit about 58 megahertz on a test run, so we need to get it to 60, a little bit above 60. So they're recommending to change out the fuel pump, make it in a mechanical, clean out the injectors and so on and so forth to get the generator up to compliance. Again, this is something that also we have been working with the county air pollution, because being an in-house compartment generator that it's in an enclosed room is not allowed anymore in the state. And the state has been willing to work with us to make it compliant and to get it up and running, because we couldn't afford to purchase a new generator, which would have to be installed outside, have a whole cement pad and so on and so forth. So we're working with what we have now, and the Holt Group and A&N has been working diligently to get the generator up to par. So that's where they're asking the additional change order to get everything going, and the additional monies is also to purchase 2 washing extractors for personal protective equipment and a dryer, as well as lockers for the facilities to house your PPE. This is where the 35,000 comes from for the change order. We do have a final, just to give an update on fire station number 2, there will be a final inspection on Thursday at 11 a.m. and for a completion date, I believe on Friday. I know Mr. Holt has requested a notice of completion that Ms. Falcone is diligently working on, and I thank her because she's been a vital part of this project. So we'll be bringing that back to council on November 6th for notice of completion of fire station number 2. Also want to give an update on the state awarded the CDBG grant. It was approved. Ms. Falomir will be working on sending out documentation for reimbursement.
Before we continue, just on something that you said, so you're gonna bring this back on the 6th for notice of completion?
The notice of completion should come
So,
back on November 6th.
I just wanted to make sure that, I know we need to complete this by.
Yeah,
the end of this
it
month.
will be.
So that will be taken care of.
Yeah.
So this, bringing it back on the 6th,
Will
that will
not,
be
no.
just a ratification.
Yeah, no, we're good. Ms. Lauren Pollock from the state clarified that with us today, that we should be good for the November 6th
Okay.
notice of completion.
Thank you, thank you. Do we have any public comments on this?
Not for right now.
Buenas tardes, Alberto Manzanares, 86 Calle Sexta. Nomás para términos de transparencia, well, just a little suggestion. I know that like cuando entregan los números de agenda and they make this sort of allocations, dicen el número de cuenta y subcuenta, pero eso pues para la gente que no sabe leer muy bien el presupuesto, pues es un poquito difícil de entender. So, entonces, para transparencia, para decirle a la gente de dónde está saliendo este dinero, es una locación en unas cuentas que era hecha para el centro comunitario, el estacionamiento del centro comunitario. No sé si lo utilizan, está bien deshecho ese estacionamiento, no está pavimentado, y nosotros siendo una ciudad que somos self-insured, sin aseguranza, pues cualquier caída, cualquier accidente sale del presupuesto general, que es donde se pagan los salarios y los servicios que ustedes reciben día a día. Entonces me preocupa poquito que estemos utilizando esa cuenta, ese fondo, para tapar hoyos en otras partes. Y no les digo que esté mal, porque sé que eso es una necesidad. I am also in agreement that we need to do everything possible to get that fire station open by the end of this month. Nomás les estoy pidiendo un poquito de consideración where we are, donde estamos tapando hoyos y donde estamos haciendo otros. It is a concern that the community center parking lot is apparently not a priority, because I see that as a huge liability. There is still money in other parts of ARPA, and ahora está revisando el budget, but my hand's a little scrambled right now, me vine la carrera, so I can't really tell you where to get the money from. I know there's still money for like the police parking lot y todo eso, but seeing that the community center is used by everyday citizens, it is kind of like a big concern that we can like possibly get sued if somebody gets like trips and falls over this unfinished pavement parking lot. Also considering that this is like not ADA compliant, ¿verdad? So that's just my concern. Estamos quitando fondos for the parking lot for the repavement of community center, and I wish that if we are going to be getting rid of this fund, the city is able to find other funds so that we can actually get this repaved, because it is also I think of great concern for many citizens in that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? I'll bring this back to the council. Any comments?
Just to clarify on that transparency as well, these monies for this change order are being pulled from the community center allocation parking lot. There was two accounts under the same budgeting for the pavement, so there is money for the pavement project at community center. It was just allocated twice, where Ms. Fonseca was able to find these monies to help us out with the fire station, but the community center will get its parking lot done.
Thank you for the clarification. Any other comments from council?
Yeah, I commend staff for finding the money and for going through this entire process that has been extremely painful, to come up with monies and see monies thrown at essential worker programs that we could have used for the paving of the street or our own city facilities. With that said, yeah, no, this is great. Next time, can you please include in the staff report additional backup for, it says here that the construction manager is recommending the change orders, but could you also include like the backup as to where the recommendation is coming from and why we're having them do it versus having it in-house? We do have staff, but those kinds of things in the spirit of transparency and allocation of our funding, please. Thank you.
And with that, also, I echo,
Mayor, Councilmember Romo has a comment.
okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Gracias, Mayor. Hay algo muy importante, Mayor, y toda la audiencia y mis compañeros. Votamos por el ARPA y por los proyectos por mayoría. Y efectivamente han sido removidos algunos proyectos. Entre ellos se puso $300,000 para poner por fin los baños públicos en el parque, ¿cómo se llama el parque que está en la ciudad? Teco Monroy. Y pues se han acabado ese dinero porque se ha metido mucho dinero y no quiero decir que esté mal, pero la estación de bomberos 2 con la estación de bomberos 1 prácticamente se ha llevado casi todo el dinero de ARPA. Yo le invitaría al administrador interino que busquen otros recursos como la señora Fonseca, porque es muy fácil, ahí está el recurso, se lo quitamos, pero a la hora de la hora no discutimos los proyectos. Me he quedado callada, pero me ha dolido mucho que un proyecto que se votó 3-2, porque nadie quiere los baños en el centro de la ciudad. Ahora sí andan diciendo que los quieren. Entonces, sinceramente, es muy fácil agarrar dinero, pero eso se votó y se respeta. Se votó por un ARPA y se votó por los proyectos. Y no es justo que deshagan los proyectos porque se esté metiendo dinero a otros conceptos. No quiero decir, vuelvo a repetir, que esto no se necesita. Sí se necesita. Pero la estación de bomberos número 2 debió de haber sido demolida completamente, pero nadie me hizo caso. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que está pasando? Que le estamos metiendo dinero y al ratito van a salir más cosas, y acuérdense de mí, las próximas reuniones van a ser otra vez lo mismo, el cambio, necesitan esto, ahora salió mal esto, ahora faltó esto, ahora salió con otro problema, etcétera, etcétera. Esto no tiene para cuándo termine. Entonces, si podemos agarrar recursos para otras cosas, entonces sinceramente yo siento que deberíamos hacer una revisión de todos los proyectos de ARPA. Por favor, porque ya estuvo bueno que agarramos dinero de proyectos que ya habíamos votado. Era lo que quería decir.
Gracias. Anybody else? Comments? Yeah. And with that also, remember, these monies were allocated, when Ms. Romo, and usually I don't do this, but you were here also. You participated in this allocation of monies, and honestly, your comment about the fire station number 2 using all the ARPA money, that's just not true, right? It's just a fraction. There were other uses for ARPA money, and that was driven by agendas. That is unfair to call that now that we are wasting this money. The money has not been wasted. And if it was wasted, it was because those were the priorities that were set by previous council members. With that, I call for the motion on this item. Do I have a motion on this?
I do want to add to that because
Okay,
I think it's important. This item, for it to have 16 change orders, has been brutally painful for myself. It shouldn't have had 16 change orders, but the prior council approved it that way. And it's been awful to have to inherit something like that and then have individuals come up here and ask why we have to repurpose money that was approved for other projects. That's why, because they decided to approve a project without any plans and allow this Frankenstein to move forward. And then we get here and we inherit from change order number 12 to 16, and who knows how many more are coming, without any plans. Actually telling city staff what they have to do. So, you know, it has not been a fun thing to go through, but it has to be done. The residents in that area need to be serviced, and not only that, but our staff that works out in that area, they need proper facilities in order to operate. We have to invest in our staff, and we have to invest in our facilities in order to continue providing service. That's what I wanted
Thank
to add,
you.
and I motion.
I second.
Mayor Camilo Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno.
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Romo.
No.
Councilmember Victor Legaspi.
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Telinda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And with that, if I can entertain a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno.
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Romo.
Yes.
Councilmember Victor Legaspi.
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Telinda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We adjourn at 7:11.